Hello everyone, I am Rusha Mukherjee, a student of Shwendranath Law College and presently interning with LSE. Today I am going to talk about Article 16 that talks about the essential reservations, quotas, everything that we are actually completely discussing each and every day. It has become a part and parcel of our life. First, we have to understand what is the difference between Article 14, 15 and 16. Article 14 talks about that there will be equal protection and equality before the law, whereas Article 15 prohibits the discrimination on the five grounds. On the other hand, Article 16 is actually restricted to the appointment and the employment by the states. Now we will come to the fact about the scope. Article 16.1 talks about the scope of Article 16, where the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, while making the Constitution, said that there has to be an equality of opportunity, and there has been certain classes, certain people who had been repeatedly deprived of their rights, and hence to maintain the equality they have to be brought forward, and for that this reservation is important, and hence there is actually the compensatory benefits that are given. The disabilities have to be removed and they have to be given equality of opportunity. Article 16.2 talks about the 7 groups against which discrimination is prohibited. Article 16.3 talks about the quota of residence. Article 16.4 talks about the backward classes, whereas there are two amendments that were introduced by way of Article 16.4a and 16.4b. Okay, now the 16.4a talks about the promotion aspects and 16.4b talks about the unfilled vacancy. And lastly, Article 16.5 talks about the whatever we can have the reservation regarding the religious institutions. Now, the Article 16 clause 2 says that anyone cannot be actually discriminating according to their caste, creed, descent, sex, religion, and whatsoever, the 7 grounds. Article 16.3 states that the reservation can be on the basis of residence, and that has twofold reasons. The first reason is some areas are there who are actually deprived of opportunities, and every area should get equal opportunity so that the progress is actually accelerated. We can take the example of Bastar Dandewala. That place is actually not very well developed. So to fasten the to actually increase the rate of the development, this has to be done. Now we will come to Article 16 clause 4, where we are talking about the backward classes. The backward classes is something that includes the SC, ST and OBC. Now there has to be certain things seen, that is a society has to be socially and educationally backward, and it should not be adequately represented in the states. No state has to be there that is representing the communities adequately. In case of Balaji versus state of Mysore, when it is applied, it was questioned, and it was told that the socially and the educationally backward classes and adequate representation in state employment is not there. Only then it works. And then we are coming to the case of Devdasan versus the Union of India. It challenged the carry forward rule. It was that whatever quota was there for the ST and SC, if that was not filled in that year, that was carried forward in the next year and added to the present quota. Now it became such that in 1961 out of 45 seats, 29 was under quota. That is almost 64% quota. In that case, the court said that if the reservation is above 50%, then the carry forward rule will be invalid. Now we are coming to the next case, and a very important case is Indrasani versus Union of India. That is also known as the Mulder case. A new commission was formed in 1979 under Chairman B.P. Mulder. It was to investigate the social and educationally backward classes in India. In 1986, they found that 3,743 backward classes were there and 27% reservation had to be done. Seeing this in 1990, VP Singh implemented it. This case was brought forward in Indira Sani case, and by a 6 to 3 majority, the verdict was given. It was said that 27% reservation of the socially and economically backward classes was valid. It is confined to appointment and not to promotions. And the reservation cannot exceed 50%. But the government thought that, the parliament thought that it was not correct, and so they brought two more amendments. The 77th Amendment Act introduced Article 16(4)(a) that said that it also is also applicable to promotions. And in the 81st Amendment, we find that the 50% ceiling was banned. That 50% ceiling was gone over, and the parties and the government said that even if the reservation is above 50%, it is valid. And Article 16(5) says about the religious institutions that if a religious institution has a vacancy and it demands that only a particular religion people can hold that post, that is not violative of Article 16. For example, the Waqf. This is all about Article 16. That's all for today. Bye bye and thank you.